it is time for my favorite segment of the show. Welcome back to Fun with Fountain Pens.
Here's a house. Here's a door. Windows 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready to knock? Turn the lock.
10 school. All right, I have a fantastic pen for you guys today. Now, one of the things that people like me do who have the tools is go and buy second-hand fountain pens from second-hand shops and then repair them and get them back to working function. You can often pick up old fountain pens, less so now, but you can pick them up generally for very little money. And one of the things that I do as a hobby is I'll go and I'll buy an old fountain pen that is broken from a charity shop, someone like the Red Cross or one of the other, hospice type shops. There'll be some fountain pens that they're selling for not much money. What I'll do is I'll buy them, repair them, and then give them back to the charity shop so that they can sell them for more money. The other thing that I often do is I'll buy them from secondhand shops and repair them for my own use. This is one such pen. It is called a Senator Regent. It was manufactured in Germany sometime between 1930 and about 1975. Looking at it, it's really hard to guess because these pens stayed the same for about 40 years. Looking at its condition, I think this pen was probably made in the 1950s or in the 1960s. Now, Germany makes wonderful. Their machining is first class. Everything from aircraft through to motor vehicles, through to scientific equipment, through to fountain pens. Everything they make, they are very, very good at. When it comes to fountain pens, the three manufacturers that people most know mostly are Montblanc, Pelican, and Lamy. They are top of the range pen manufacturers. Less well known is Senator. They are very, very similar, but they made much less expensive pens. In the 1930s, like Montblanc, they started using resin for their pen bodies. The big difference is that rather than using gold on their nibs, they used gold-plated steel nibs with iridium tips and also gold plating on their metal parts. If I take this pen apart, you will see that it is a piston filler. Can you see there is an ink window there, which is a green? German pens were early adopters of the piston mechanism. It is my favorite filling mechanism for a pen. On this pen, it has a blind cap. You take the cap off, you put your pen into the bottle, and then twisting this little knob here forces a plunger up and down to suck ink into your pen. Because it is a steel nib, that it doesn't have as much flex as the older style nibs from the era that were made out of 14 and 18 karat gold. However, there is still quite a lot of flex in it. I have this pen in a medium, and I'm going to give you a writing sample now so you can get a taste for it. And looking at the flex, for a steel nib pen, there is an awful lot of flex in this nib. It is absolutely wonderful. Now, here's the thing with these old pens that I go and buy from secondhand shops. They often need a fair amount of work with specialty tools to get them back into working order. This is not one of them. I bought this at a secondhand shop on Dominion Road about 5 years ago. I think it cost me $15. It is a fantastic old vintage fountain pen in perfect working order. I needed to do nothing to this pen to actually get it working. I just flushed it out with cold water and started using it. That, to me, is a monument to the quality of German engineering, which applies equally to their mid-range pens like the Senator Regent as it does to their high-end pens like the Lames, the Montblancs, and the Pelicans. Today's ink is an ink that I have reviewed for you before. Pilot Iroshizuku is famous. It is a very, very expensive ink. It is famous around the world of fountain pen enthusiasts because of its particularly vibrant colors. Some of their inks are hugely popular. I use as my default everyday ink one of their turquoise. This one is one I also love. It's called Ina-ho. And it's based upon the color of rice stalks. The camera may not be able to pick it out very well, but it is a shading ink that shades between yellow and brown and is absolutely delightful to look at on the page. It is such a vibrant color. It is a color that I think that you might be able to get away with using in a professional environment at work. All right, guys, so that is today's pen. This is the Senator Regent from sometime between 1930 and I think about 1975 they stopped making them, and Iroshizuku's Pilot Ina-ho ink. I hope you enjoyed watching that. If you find an old pen, you need some help restoring it back to good condition, hit me up. I'm more than happy to give you some help and some advice. Guys, I'm going to play a little bit more music. Got about 15 minutes left to go in the episode. Few more articles to go through. Here's some music and some TV in the meantime.